On the 30th of June, 2010, I celebrated my first birthday, and my parents gave me the best gift ever, a collection of World Cup soccer balls from every World Cup tournament up until 2010. They weren't full-size because, well, I wasn't full-size yet either. Even as a little kid, that day sparked a passion in me that's grown ever since. Hi, my name is Arjun Bristowe, and welcome to my Masterworks, football, not just a game. Football, or soccer if you live in North America, is the biggest sport to ever exist in the world. 4 billion people tune in to watch the Premier League yearly, and 5 billion tuned in to watch the FIFA World Cup in 2022. This is the beautiful game of football, and it's outgrown every other sport on the planet. From kicking a ball around my living room to watching games with my family, soccer quickly became my favorite thing in the world. In this presentation, we will look across the world to analyze 6 different countries across various categories. They each have their own football style and characteristics that they are proud of. I chose countries that represent different regions of the world that have distinguishable football characteristics. The 6 countries that I researched are England, Brazil, Spain, Canada, and Jamaica, and Morocco. The reason behind the smaller countries when it comes to soccer, not geography, such as Canada and Jamaica, is Canada is my home country and Jamaica is from the Caribbean. And the reason behind the Caribbean is I wanted to have a country from many different regions of the world, such as the Caribbean, Jamaica, which is right there, and then North America, Canada, South America, Brazil, Africa, Morocco, and then Europe, Spain, and England. When choosing these countries, it was important to have different countries that have distinct styles of play and their own system of development to really understand how these countries are unique. National football teams are respective squads that consist of the best players from a particular country, selected to compete in international tournaments and matches. These teams are governed by the National Football Association of the respective countries, which are often affiliated with larger organizations such as FIFA. National teams participate in a variety of competitions, including the FIFA World Cup, continental championships such as UEFA European Championship, and Copa America, as well as friendly matches and qualifiers for major tournaments. FIFA soccer rankings show how good a national team are based on their recent game results. Winning important matches, especially against stronger teams, helps a team move up in the rankings. Recent games matter more than older ones. This ranking system helps fans and teams see who is performing best in international football right now. For the teams I'm researching, as of May 2024, can you guess who is the lowest ranked? Yeah. No, it's actually Jamaica, who are 55th. Now can you guess who's the highest ranked? Bo. No, England, who are 4th. As for the other countries, Canada is 49th, Morocco is 13th, Brazil is 5th, and Spain is 8th. The first country's national profile is Canada. Soccer is Canada's #1 sport when it comes to popularity. Participation, however, it's not at all popular to watch. One of the first games played on Canadian soil was in 1859 in Toronto, but soccer wasn't organized informally until 1891, when the British Columbia Football Association was the first football association to establish a football association in Canada. It wasn't until 1924 that the Canadian men's national team was created. The women's national team wasn't official until 1986. The women's national team is currently ranked 9th in the world and has won a gold at the Olympics. The men's national team has been to the FIFA World Cup twice, in 1986 and 2022. Canada will be hosting the 2026 World Cup along with Mexico and the US, and will be eligible to send a team as the host nation. If you are a young upcoming soccer player living in BC, you will have to start with your local team and work your way up to provincial and the national level. If you've ever played soccer, please stand up. Okay. Please stay standing if you've played for Division 2 or higher. Please stay standing if you played Division 1 or higher. Please stay standing if you played BCSPL or higher. Please stay standing if you played provincial program or higher. Whitecast residency, League 1 BC, CPL. Okay. Morgan, where did you play and what level was it?
I played men's premier for 20 years. I played in university, I played in college, and I played in Europe.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Clap it up.
Oh, and Border and co-ed league champion as well.
Yeah. Well, okay. There are only 1.5 professional.
Sorry, Arjun.
There are only 1.5 professional leagues in Canada, with a lot of levels to get there and a lot of competition, with it being really hard to become a pro soccer player in Canada in the Canadian league system. The most notable Canadian male player right now is Alphonso Davies. He plays for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, which is a high-profile team in a competitive and high-profile league. Born in Ghana, he came to Canada as a refugee at 5 years old. Davies lived in Edmonton until 14 before joining the Whitecaps residency. Proving his talent, he became a starter for the Whitecaps' first team in the MLS. This led to his recruitment by FC Bayern Munich in January 2019. Currently, Davies and Real Madrid have a verbal agreement to sign him when his contract ends with Bayern in late 2024 or early 2025, marking another big step in his career. The most notable female player is Christine Sinclair. Now 40 years old, was the captain of the women's national team for over 20 seasons, and at 40, she holds the most international goals scored by any player, male or female. Sinclair retired on December 5th, 2023, although she sadly did not score in her final match. Soccer is not Canada's #1 sport, resulting in a less competitive atmosphere in league games. In the World Cup, stakes are a bit higher, but not as intense as other countries. The Canadian national team had qualified for the FIFA World Cup once prior to 2022, leading to low expectations. Despite not advancing far, they scored their first ever goals in the 2022 World Cup. In Canada, players don't face severe criticisms or safety concerns, unlike in other countries like Colombia, where Andres Escobar was tragically assassinated after an own goal in the 1994 World Cup. This drastically contrasts with soccer in Canada compared to other sports like hockey. Soccer's popularity is growing in Canada, partly due to the men's team qualifying for the 2022 World Cup, and the influence of the MLS, which has attracted high-profile players like Lionel Messi. However, soccer still lags behind hockey in terms of cultural significance and competitive interest in Canada. Canada's cold climate limits outdoor soccer primarily to the summer months. Snow and ice make it difficult to play and maintain the fields during winter, posing dangers such as frostbite and hypothermia. This restricts the time available for outdoor soccer activities. With this all being known, the soccer season in BC is in the fall and winter, with many of our practices and sometimes our games being cancelled because of the bad weather. In Ontario, the season is similar here fall and winter, but it snows more and they have more indoor facilities, but there's not enough to meet the demand. The next country I'll be talking about is Jamaica. Football in Jamaica began with the Kingston Cricket Club forming the first team in 1893. By 1895, women's football was reported nationally. The men's Jamaican national team was formed between 1925 and 1932, playing friendly matches against Haiti. The women's national team first played in 1935 to raise charity funds, gaining popularity and spreading across the island. Today, women's football in Jamaica is as prominent, if not more so, than the men's. Jamaica's league system is extensive, featuring multiple divisions, which supports player development. More leagues mean more opportunities for players, with requirements for homegrown talent and ensuring local participation and growth. Jamaica's four leagues are similar to those in England or Spain. Jamaica's league system has multiple levels, with promotion and relegation between them. This setup helps develop talent and keeps clubs competitive. Compared to Canada, Jamaica is more developed, and with clear pathways for players and from local leagues to higher divisions. Canada, with its newer football system and fewer divisions, could benefit adopting a similar structure to improve player development and strengthen its football culture. Khadija Monifa Shah is currently 27 years old and is the center forward for Manchester City in the Super League, captain of the women's Jamaican national team. With 50 goals in 42 games, she is the highest goal scorer, men and women. Jamaica's football culture gained international attention with the new kits designed by Wells Bonner in collaboration with Adidas. This recognition resonated with over 500,000 people of Jamaican descent in the UK, fostering a sense of visibility and pride. Despite its small size, Jamaica is now celebrated for its love and history of football. Speaking of football, Spain is renowned for its iconic football style and top players. Tiki-taka is the best known for being used by FC Barcelona and then adopted by the Spanish national team during the successful years in late 2000s and early 2010s. Managers like Pep Guardiola and Vincent Del Bosque made this style famous. It played a big role in Spain winning the 2008 and 2012 UEFA European Championships and also the 2010 World Cup. La Liga is home to some famous teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, has dominated Spanish sports since the late 19th century. Football in Spain started with English workers and students introducing the game. Real Madrid, the most decorated team in football history, has won 15 Champions League titles, setting a record for excellence. Andres Iniesta, at 40, still playing, currently playing for Club Emirates in the UAE Pro League, He started at Club Albacete's youth team, joined Barcelona's youth team, and made his first team debut in 2002. Iniesta played for Barcelona for 16 years. He played for Spain's national teams from U15 to the senior team. Recently, Iniesta more or less agreed to join Inter Miami, reuniting with Messi and former Barcelona stars. Spanish football's pathway to professional play involves youth development programs, competitive youth leagues, and a progression through club academies to senior teams. Players often advance from local clubs to top-tier teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid. Spain has a well-established football league system featuring tiers like La Liga, Segunda Division, where teams get relegated and promoted based on their performance. This structure enables players' growth and ensures equal competition among clubs. In contrast to Canada's league system, primarily centered around the CPL, Canadian Premier League, lacks the same depth and flexibility, with fewer tiers and no promotion and relegation opportunities. Spain's model could enhance football in Canada by providing a blueprint for clubs and players to thrive. In La Liga, racism has been a significant issue, with players like Vinicius Jr. facing abuse. Despite these challenges, Vinicius Jr. remains committed to play in Spain to confront racism head-on, emphasizing his resilience and dedication to the sport. Just a few days ago, three people who racially abused Vinicius Jr. were sentenced to 8 months in prison, a 2-year ban from entering football stadiums, and they have to pay for legal costs. This is the first conviction for racism abuse in a football stadium in Spain. Football in Spain is highly competitive, with passionate fan engagement. While fans may express intense emotions and engage in banter, severe actions like death threats are uncommon. Football in Spain involves spirited rivalries, especially during high-stake matches like El Clásico, the rivalry between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid. Jumping over the Strait of Gibraltar, I am now going to talk about Morocco. Morocco has a rich football history marked by a long-standing rivalry with France. The Moroccan national team played its first game in 1928 and has made significant strides, notably reaching the semifinals in the 2022 World Cup. Their performance against Croatia in the third-place match was a historic moment for Moroccan football. Morocco's pathway to professional play involves youth academies, local clubs, and national team development programs. Players progress through these stages to reach professional levels in international competitions. The Moroccan Football League system features 2 professional leagues and 4 tiers of amateur leagues. Compared to Canada, it's the same thing as the other countries. Other countries have the upper hand with an extensive structure that helps local talent and encourages participation at various levels. Hakim Ziyech is 31 and plays for Galatasaray in the Super League in Turkey. On loan from Chelsea, Ziyech has been influential for his teams. He started with the Dutch national team before switching to represent Morocco internationally as captain in 2015, fulfilling his mother's wish. In the 2022 World Cup, Morocco faced France in a historic semi-final, highlighting their deep-rooted rivalry. The match was significant due to France's colonial past in Morocco and recent visa disputes. The game's intense build-up and aftermath showcased the historic and cultural tensions between these two nations. I had an incredible opportunity to experience a vibrant football culture in Morocco firsthand. During my visit to Marrakesh in August 2023, I was struck by the deep awareness and passion for football, which far surpasses what I was used to in Canada. One memorable evening, I was walking through the lively Medina, the old city of Marrakesh, wearing my Bayern Munich jersey. I was constantly approached by people calling out Bayern to catch my attention and draw me into their stands. I also noticed the widespread popularity of Hakimi jerseys, worn by people of all ages, though not by women, and sold in various shops, not just sports-related ones. The focus in Marrakesh was less about league teams and more about national teams, affectionately named the Atlas Lions. Now I will talk about the 3 Lions of England. The English Premier League, or EPL, is often held as the best and oldest football league in the world. Fans in England are known for their dedication and sometimes their boisterously loud behavior. England, along with Scotland, boasts the oldest national football team, with their first international match against Scotland dating back to September 1872. What sets England apart is their league system. Just as Canada has the CPL and Germany has the Bundesliga, England's EPL is renowned for its high caliber of teams and players. Each team, regardless of the league, must include a percentage of homegrown players, fostering the development of domestic talent from a young age. This strong development pathway contributes significantly to the strength of their national team. David Robert Joseph Beckham, now 49, has become a notable figure in the football world, not just as a player, but also as a proud owner of Inter Miami in the MLS. After his stellar career at Real Madrid, Beckham moved to LA Galaxy, where he signed a unique deal, allowing him to establish his own MLS team post-retirement. After Beckham went to North America, he went back to Europe. Beckham's journey saw him playing for AC Milan in Italy and Paris Saint-Germain in France, before retiring at PSG and creating Inter Miami. He attracted legends like Leo Messi, Luis Suarez, and Jordi Alba to his club, significantly impacting the MLS. Aside from football, Beckham is also well known for his marriage to Victoria, one of the Spice Girls. The intense passion of British football fans can sometimes lead to negative outcomes such as discrimination and abuse. David Beckham experienced this firsthand during the 1998 World Cup, when his red card led to England's defeat against Argentina, resulting in severe media abuse. Similarly, during the 2022 Euros, young players like Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford, and Jadon Sancho faced relentless racial abuse after missing crucial penalties in the final stage of the Euros against Italy. This highlights the immense pressure and backlash footballers endure. Jumping over to South America, Brazil, the country of football. Brazil is renowned for its remarkable football history, particularly in the FIFA World Cup, which they have won 5 times since 1958. Currently ranked 5th in the men's international rankings, Brazil's first World Cup win in 1958 marked the beginning of the golden era. Brazil holds the record for most World Cup titles and is the only country to have qualified for every World Cup tournament, making them a dominant force in football history. Not a very popular Brazilian, but I decided to include him. Does anyone know Edson Nascimento? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Edson Nascimento, aka Pelé, is arguably the greatest footballer to ever play. With an amazing career that saw him win the most World Cups by any individual player, Pelé became an iconic figure in sports history. Sadly, he passed away on December 29, 2022, but his legacy endures. Vinicius Jr., currently a star playing for Real Madrid in the Liga, has been representing the Brazilian national team since 2019. Being only 23 years old, he is considered one of the best young talents in the world, alongside his fellow Real Madrid player, Jude Bellingham. Brazilian footballers often come from humble backgrounds, which can serve as a powerful motive to excel. The pressure to perform is immense. Given Brazil's rich history of football success, the nation's passion for football can lead to significant expectations on players, exemplified by Neymar Jr.'s journey from poverty to global fame. Football is deeply ingrained in Brazil's culture, almost a way of Football is deeply ingrained in Brazil's culture, almost a way of life. The nation, with the highest number of football supporters globally, teaches the sport to children early, instilling values like fairness, responsibility, perseverance, and determination. During major tournaments like the FIFA World Cup, the entire country unites, transcending differences in age, race, gender, and socioeconomic status to support their team. Football is everywhere in Brazil, from street games to professional stadiums. The Brazilian football system has 4 main divisions: Serie A, B, C, and D, with over 600 clubs in total. Canada could expand its league system to include more levels to support for amateur and semi-professional teams, similar to Brazil's setup. To improve the Canadian football system to be more like those in other parts of the world, I think it should expand the league system, introduce more tiers to create a pathway from amateur to professional levels, similar to systems in Brazil and Europe. Increase youth development programs, invest in academies and training programs to develop homegrown talent from a young age, improve infrastructure, build more stadiums, training facilities, and community fields to support both professional and grassroots football. Boost funding and sponsorship, secure more financial support from government and private sponsors to sustain and grow the leagues. Create a competitive environment, foster rivalries and competitive matches to improve the level of play and attract more fans. Hopefully Canada Soccer will make some of these changes before 2026. Thanks to Jen Hendrickson for telling me to lock in, and for all of Masterworks being possible. Thanks to Amanda Zabo for yelling at me when I was doing nothing, and for being very patient with through my research. Thanks to my classmates, especially Lucas Musselman, for putting a couple pictures on my slideshow. Thanks to my brother Keon for telling me I was going to botch the presentation. And a huge thanks to my parents for driving me to all my practice and games. Without you, I probably wouldn't even have a soccer career. Same goes for Morgan. Thanks for Morgan Coy to supporting me through my soccer journey by opening doors and giving me opportunities to get to the next level. And thank you all for listening. Yeah. This is a 4-minute video. We can have it while the question's going. Yeah. Like
What's
four.
your record?
It's like 2,000 now, but that was like 2 years ago.
How much?
2,000
2,000. Okay.
something. Yeah.
Mr. Bristowe, that was incredible. I'm sure there are lots of questions, so we're going to start with your advisors now for the first one.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bristowe. I've totally enjoyed this project over the year. You wrote a huge paper and did a ton of research on these 6 different countries, and I think proved very aptly your title, football is way more than a game, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about culture, we talked about pressures, economic status, like there was a lot that was in your research. I guess easy question first, if you could, you're a young Canadian player, if you could snap your fingers and be in one of those other 6 countries, where would you go?
England, probably.
England?
Yeah,
Okay.
because like how like big the system is crazy. Yeah.
It's what?
It's crazy. It's huge. Yeah, like the top 5 levels, you can get paid as much as a doctor.
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. So there's a lot of opportunities for professional.
Yeah, definitely in England. Yeah, for sure.
And I guess the other question I have is, one of the things in your research we talked about iconic teams as well. It didn't make the presentation because we have to cut it down.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is my favorite team, 2010. What is your favorite team?
Brazil, like just Brazil's national team, honestly, because they're just so flashy and just like cool. I just want to like aspire to be like that, honestly. Just like, yeah.
Okay, and what do you think goes into a national team? Like, is it what? Because there's lots of aspects. Like some teams have the best players
Yeah.
in the world, but they're not particularly successful.
Yeah, like England has like one of the best national teams, like individual players, but like they just like they're not first. Like like you feel like they should be first, but like it's like also the coach. The coach also needs to know like who to pick and stuff. Like it's like they need to like get players who like work good together, not just like the best ones. So it's just like all tactical.
So coach and player cohesion and stuff.
Yeah, all that.
And that's what was, I think, special about the Spanish one, right?
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, Morgan, go ahead.
I'd say, what was the one thing about the sport that you learned? How bad? What was the one thing that you learned from the sport from doing your Masterworks that maybe going into it that you didn't realize, but that now you sort of picked up on or learned from?
Just how many like leagues there are in the world. Like I didn't know like the Jamaica had a bunch of league systems. Like it's crazy. Like I thought like all like Canada, Jamaica's lower than Canada rankings, which is crazy because we only have 1 league and they have like 4. So it's just really interesting how like how slow we are behind, but we're still like sort of in the middle of the pack. But it's just really interesting. Yeah, like league systems and stuff. So yeah.
Do you think that 2026 will change the culture in Canada here? Like permanently or?
I mean, I think so, hopefully, because like there's gonna be like a bunch of like other fans probably traveling with their teams, so I think it'll bring a lot of like culture and like competitiveness to Canada. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. But I think it will like
Do you know
change.
now where they're going to play the games? Or
I don't know. Like I think there's like a couple in Vancouver, but I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2 or something.
8.
What?
8 in Vancouver.
Really?
8 in Vancouver.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
Can you say that again, starting?
There's 8 like World Cup games in Vancouver.
2026.
Yeah.
Mr. Bristowe, you asked everyone here about their pathway. We'd like to know about yours, I think.
Yeah.
I'm playing for BCSPL right now.
Okay, say again.
BCSPL, BC Soccer Premier League.
Okay, so tell me the levels that you moved through. So I know there's a slide about that, but you probably know it off the top of your head. It's in the very beginning, sorry.
That's fine. I got it. Hold up. There we go. So yeah. So I'm here right now. I am like sort of amongst the provincial program. I didn't make Whitecaps residency, which is kind of sad, but I wish. Yeah, I'm sort of like in between these 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, okay, I'll leave it to the kids to ask.
And you started at where? Where was your first team?
I don't. Yeah, Bowen Islands. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, questions from the floor. Go ahead, Black.
Yes.
Stand up, please, and
Mr. Bristowe, amazing presentation. I was wondering what your favorite football club is, and if that one didn't exist, what other one would you choose, and what your favorite player is?
Tottenham is my favorite club. The second favorite club is probably like Real Madrid or Crystal Palace, and then we would go for Phil Foden. Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
I loved your presentation about soccer. I barely know anything about it, but that informed me on a lot of things I didn't know. Like I said, I don't know a lot about soccer. So to join a team, and if you want to join the Brazil team, do you have to live there? Do you have to have a Brazil citizenship? Or like?
Yeah, I think you have to have a citizenship. So, or like your parents are born there. So it's all, yeah. I don't think, yeah.
Congratulations on your Masterworks presentation. I know getting here was
Yeah.
fun, but also challenging. My question comes towards the end of your presentation, where you say there's quite a lot kind of can do, or should do, in order to bring the game to a bit of a national level. But if I look at countries like Brazil, they don't have the same structures for the youth programs per se. And even if they did, I doubt that the majority of kids that play soccer would actually be in those clubs because it's a poor country. Do you think that has a big impact of the end result? Because they're still one of the greatest in the world.
Yeah.
Yet also the kids don't start out in clubs, they start out on the streets.
Yeah, well, like, it's just like, they have like football, like, little like patches, you know? Like, it's like sort of like, Brazil has like futsal, which is like a huge thing in Brazil. And it's like, it's not very popular in other sports, but like that's why they like have the ball like all the time. They're just like developing all the time. And then when they go to like a different country or something, they just, yeah, it's just like they excel there because like they're like really, really technical. So they just like excel and they're like one of the best. So, like they get really noticed in other countries, which then they bring them in. And like Real Madrid notices like so many Brazilian players, so they all bring them in, and like it's just really noticeable in Brazil because, yeah, it's a culture.
My second question then is, what is your perception in terms of countries that have money, like the Middle East, where they kind of poach all the best players for their slightly smaller,
Yeah.
not well-developed countries?
Well, like the players there don't really like want it as much because like Brazil comes from a poor country. They like want it much more, you know, become like aspire like really great. So I think they just like need to like in like richer countries like England, they need to like want it more. It's just like sort of mindset, you know. Yeah.
Great presentation, Mr. Bristowe. But I was wondering if you're a Messi or a Ronaldo fan.
I like both, honestly, but
If you were to pick one.
I don't know, probably Ronaldo, yeah. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Bristowe. One of the things I really love about Masterworks is I always learn something. I don't mean just facts and figures. I get a new appreciation and understanding of something. And you did that for me. I'm just starting to get interested in soccer. And I felt this was something like a documentary. You told me a bit about the game, you gave me lots about the culture, you gave me a few personalities to kind of pay attention to, so you really brought it to life for me. And it's interesting because when I was your age, almost nobody played soccer. It was hockey or the other football, the Canadian football, the American football. But when you asked everybody here, almost everybody put their hand up and played. Can you maybe give me some insights on what's making this become such a popular thing? I mean, I always felt like Canada was out of it for a long time.
Yeah.
Part of this beautiful game. Where does that come from, you think?
I got no clue. It's just like, I don't know. Honestly, just like, I don't even know how to answer
Well,
that.
answer for yourself. Why do you love soccer?
Sorry? Yeah, it's accessible. Yeah, that's a big part of it because like hockey has like so much gear and stuff. It's really cheap. You just need a ball, really. Because so like it's just really like Brazil. They can have like poor countries with like just so many like players just playing with a ball and just like excelling. You know, it's just like really cool.
Well, thanks for
Interesting. Yeah.
When you say that when I lived in Ghana, kids played football all the time with whatever they had, whether it was a bunch of elastic bands all joined together or a water bottle, it was always being played. So accessibility for soccer, for football is huge.
Yeah.
And it's big on Bowen Island too, because as a parent, you know, I'm not going to do hockey, right?
Yeah.
We were going to do what was on the island. So the Bowen Soccer Club has promoted a lot of kids to play there.
Dave, Mom?
Great presentation, Mr. Bristowe. you think Messi's better or Maradona?
Hey, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo? Maradona.
Oh.
Maradona.
That wasn't the question, buddy. So
Maradona or Messi?
Maradona or Messi?
Yeah.
Messi. I'm sorry.
Great presentation, Bristowe. I have a question about girls playing soccer, women playing soccer. It's great to see the British Lions, the women's team, doing so well. But I noticed that in schools, the girls kind of drop off as they grow. You know, I'm thinking of the girls in Poland, they got to sort of 11, 12, 13, and then they sort of very quickly drop off and more boys start playing. I'm just wondering why you think that is, and do boys have something to do with that? Do they exclude girls, or do they not encourage them enough? What do you think?
I actually have no clue. We have like at my club, we have like two another girl teams, but I don't know how. I don't even, yeah. Sorry, I can't answer that. I don't know. My bad.
Mr. Woodward, come on up.
Great presentation, Mr. Bristowe. Can I ask 3 questions?
Sure.
One, what league do you think invests the most money into football or soccer? Second, how do you think
Just start with one, then I'll answer.
So what league do you think?
What league do you think invests the most in soccer?
The Premier League, English Premier League, England. I got no clue. Just like one club spent $1 billion on a stadium, so like.
Second question, how do you think COVID affected soccer overall, like worldwide?
Worldwide, it like made it harder to play, and like people like lost their talent and stuff, and just like the accessibility was like lost, so a little bit. But the leagues, like the professional leagues, like EPL, they still play just without the fans, which made it like maybe probably less popular, not being able to go there. But you still could watch it online. But if you come from a poor country, you couldn't. So it kind of like COVID-19 like brought it down a little bit, so we have to get back up, you know.
Okay. And third question, how much time do you like invest in playing soccer a week?
I don't know. I go like I practice 5 days a week, maybe like 7 hours. Yeah, maybe 8, 9. I got no clue.
Parents, can you verify that?
It's just a lot of traveling as well. So, because I live in Bowen Island, so.
Like add it all with traveling, because that is an investment of your time.
It's like 3 hours of time. So like 3, 6, 9, 12. I don't know, maybe like 18.
18 hours?
Yeah, a week maybe.
18 hours a week with travel and then playtime.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That shows a lot of commitment.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Julie.
Amazing presentation, Mr. Bristowe. Question, whenever you go out to the field and like train without your team, because whenever I do that, especially by myself, I can't really think of anything to do, like any drills or anything that I can do by myself. I have a question, do you have any drills that I could like try out while I'm...
I don't know, just like, if you look at online stuff, like, just honestly, just like, chill with the ball, just like kick it and run with it, just do stuff with it, whatever you want with it, you know, just experiment, do whatever you want, you know, so yeah, stuff over as well.
It seems like you spent a lot of time practicing.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Alan.
Amazing presentation, Mr. Bristowe. If you could go back in time and go to any World Cup, which one would you go to?
Ooh. I think it'd be the 2014 one, where, well, who won? I don't even know who won, but I just remember my mom telling me a story about it, so. You bet. Sorry?
Who was playing?
Germany, wasn't it? And,
Holland?
I don't know, it was, who scored the winning goal? Who scored the winning goal? Goatsy, yeah. That guy, that was crazy. Yeah, that's pretty
Why was it
fun.
crazy?
Because he like came on as a sub and scored. Yeah, it's everything.
And that was the finals.
Yeah, the World Cup, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
In Germany, right? Yeah.
from Brazil, yeah.
Mr. Bristowe, you talked about the Spanish team using a play called tiki-taka.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? I don't know if you need your graphic.
It's just like passing the ball, you know. It's just not really individual players dribbling and stuff. It's just all like passing. It's yeah.
In a special formation?
Not really. It's just passing the ball, you know, just around players instead of like.
Doesn't everyone just pass the ball?
Yeah, but yeah.
Special about tiki-taka. There's got to be something. That
I don't. What?
What team did it come from?
Barcelona. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just passing the ball, you know. Yeah.
Thank you, Arjun. Sorry, Mr. Bristowe. I'm curious, did you enjoy Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Okay, because I really did, and I learned a lot about that. Do you think that the show, that series, was a good thing for football?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One of the things that I was left with hearing your presentation and knowing you over these past years is the quote from one of the characters on the show. He's like, "Football is life."
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking that is you, Mr. Bristowe. Your life is embedded in football, and thank you for sharing your passion with us. And certainly, personally, wish you all the best as you continue that journey, your pathway here.
Thank you.
Carrie, come on.
Thank you, Mr. Bristowe. That was super enlightening. Do you know how much the highest paid player gets paid?
Mbappe could have been, but he accepted Real Madrid instead of PSG. But Ronaldo gets paid like 200 million a year. So.
Okay. Have you spent any? Sorry, you said 200.
200 million a year.
A year.
Yeah.
So have you spent any time? I think we were talking a little bit about this last time. We were talking about winning the lottery and stuff, and what's the ethics of someone having that much money. But have you spent any time thinking about the ethics of a soccer or a football player getting paid that much money?
No, I haven't really listened to that, but.
No. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about what different players do with these crazy amounts of money that they get? Because I know certain players do certain things and certain players kind of do other things.
I mean, most players just like get the money and spend it on like stuff like watches, like cars and stuff. But Hakimi, he gives it all to his mom. So then when I remember he married someone and then she divorced him and then got half of his wealth but he had nothing. It was all his mom's, so she got really nothing. So yeah, I just remember that. So
there's a number of players from Africa too, or from poorer countries, right, that use what they have made through playing soccer to build the soccer community or build communities in their hometowns, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
So can you tell us with the information from your team do you have an example?
Mo Salah.
Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane.
Mbappe.
Mbappe. Yeah. And three. Yeah.